have no choice but to change and to love and support us to then have more love on the earth, you know. But we at the moment, I feel in our society, like we allow for men to treat us like shit, you know what I mean? And we allow for them to like do these subconscious like messed up thoughts, you know. And it's like, when did that come about and why? It's been like that for thousands of years.
Because there's power and men want the power, so they literally, like all religions pretty much, put the power in men, right? The men get to do a lot of things, even Judaism, like the boys at 13 get their bar mitzvah. It's a big deal. It's always in most religions I know of anyway, it's like men, and they're the ones who are, you know, the rabbis, the priests, so that's like, it's only recently in very liberal places that you have like women leaders in religion. In a lot of places I think religion is a big part of the society. And I think, I mean, I'm so grateful I live in America because we have so much, actually, I think, freedom and liberation. And we need to empower those that are repressed in a lot of countries that don't even get to, like, socialize with other men, or they're just so isolated, or, I mean, they're not being able to be educated. So it's like, I think it's great, all the empowerment that's going on in America, that I see anyway, for this, but we need to take it beyond and like really see that universal force.
Well, I think we will, but I don't think we're not ready for that. I think there's still like another shift and transition that needs to happen for us in order to be able to do that. Because even though there is a lot of that going on, majority of women don't love themselves, and they put themselves down. They're constantly comparing themselves to women in magazines, and like we're totally airbrushed, you know. Like I meet women like that all the time. Like I say, hey, you look beautiful today, and like, you know, you can tell like they don't believe it. You know, it's like, dude.
Well, a lot of all that is very American. I feel like a lot of people from other countries, they're way more into like, oh yeah, they're okay with it. I think America is particularly has issues with like a lot of like not loving themselves. Yeah. So but that's a big one in America, that's for sure. But like South America, I feel like they love themselves more. Like, oh yeah, what's up with like
I don't know. There's parts of South America like Venezuela, they do a lot of plastic surgery.
A lot of plastic surgery.
A lot.
But you can do plastic surgery and love yourself. Like I knew this woman from South America, and she's like, yeah, I want big boobs now. Like I've always had, I like, you know, I have a big butt, I have big, small boobs, and she was so laughy about it. She's like, yeah, I want to have big boobs now, and she got a boob job. It's like, it wasn't like, I don't think plastic surgery is necessarily like low self-esteem. It's like, okay, I'm empowering myself to like do something. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I don't judge. I try to understand why they did it. Yeah. I mean, some people maybe they're doing it because they don't love themselves, but maybe some people are just like, whatever. You know, I have a big nose, and I don't want my Jewish nose, and I'm 18. I'm a Jewish princess grandpa. I mean, her dad. Please pay for my nose job. I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? But you're right. Women need to love themselves. It's a total issue, and we need to just totally support each other, because if we don't, then how do we expect men to respect us, or you know? Yeah. But what do you think about women are the mothers, and yet we're raising so many boys? I don't understand why there's so much like sexual abuse, and like, you know, so many women are victims of sexual, what is it called, assault? Yeah. So like all these boys are being raised by women. So that's something, I don't know, do you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're not like, it's happening, but we're not there yet. Like. Okay, how am I trying to say this?
So I guess my question is like, how can this be if the mothers?
I understand what you're saying, and again, it's because exactly what we've already talked about. We won't see the change happen until we learn how to love ourselves. Like the moms, right? They're messed up, and they got their own weird things going on. They're catty with other women. They play these like mischievous games, like I'm the victim, this, that, let's fight. Okay. So then we just raise kids who are like doing the same shit as us. So until we change our own behavior and our thought process and of how we look at the world, and like come from a loving, supportive way instead of like a cattiness, you know, then we'll have kids who are different.
Yeah,
but
and
we're
I
not
think-
going to see
I
different
love that you
kids
said
and
that,
behavior
and it's true
different.
because the mothers are telling the boys what's acceptable and unacceptable.
Yeah.
And like when Trump was elected, I know this might be like the bubbled white girl reaction, but I was like, how was he elected? Like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
And so many women voted for him, and it's like, I talked to a few women. I was like, why? What is going on? And or friends of mine whose family members voted for him, and it's like, okay, there were a few reasons, but you know about the grab the pussy part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
like how can you vote for a man who has done that and has said that? And so it's like, I talked to a couple women, it's like, oh, he didn't mean it, or it wasn't that bad. And I'm like, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like the fact that women aren't like,
And here we are.
finding this unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like raising our little girls, and I love Michelle Obama, but like, yeah, little girls know that this is not okay, and you can, you know, be anyone you want. And I don't know, it just breaks my heart sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
It's really like important to tell little girls.
Yeah, we have to learn to get along with men, because or else we won't have any children. I mean, you need to get married, right? Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be the end of the human race if everybody think like that.
Yeah, maybe. Not for a while though. We got a lot of people on the planet.
It's true, we have to get along. Well, it was so funny because I've talked about this issue and somebody said something like, oh, there's so much fear with women, they're feeling safe. And I said, oh, something about like how I think men are scared. Because I think if there's that much like violence and suppression of women's rights or equal pay and all this stuff, like, are you scared of us? Like, what's the big deal? Like, why can't you just see us as your equal?
So I don't know exactly what century this was, but supposedly there was a time where women did rule the world basically,
Oh yeah.
and then men figured out how to come on top, and they've been on top since. So now it's like coming to a point of
Maybe it was
finding
like
the
sexual
balance.
positioning, like women used to be on top. Maybe they Kama Sutra, was it that? Kama Sutra, that's what it was. That's probably when, how to like change it up. Yeah, it's all about changing positions. In 100,000 years,
we gotta
women will
find
be,
the balance now.
yeah, the women will rule the world.
Kama Sutra.
Who knows?
That was good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, boy, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Well, you can have your women meetings, but you should also have once a month a men and women meeting to balance it out.
Well, so here's the thing that I'm starting to see in very small circles. So we have our women's things that we do,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm starting to see now that men are having like their, whatever you want to call it, warrior circles or something. Now,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And men need that too. They need to get raw with themselves.
They have
and
leadership.
allow
They have-
themselves to be emotional.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
do
and
have their own
feel.
leadership meetings, and they exclude women.
yeah, or like,
No,
isn't
that's
that
not what I mean though. No, I'm talking about like having like sacred sharing circles with men. Like
Yeah.
actually getting emotional and feeling their feelings.
Really?
And talking about like what they're going through. Not I'm not talking old paradigm stuff.
Okay,
This is, like,
There's like
newer
men's
things.
circles, and actually one of my old students, Edward, that's how I started the women's circle, because he was using the space for men's group, like a Kundalini group, and then he said, I'm going to start a women's group, so I did, and it's still going on, but yeah, I think they're called like men's groups, divine masculine warrior, I like that word.
Yeah.
Gentle warrior.
Gentle warrior.
Yeah, and we do need to come together, because it's not women versus men and men versus women. It's about how can we have that safe container to share what maybe only women should share about, like whatever.
Yeah.
And same thing with men. Maybe they don't want to talk about certain vulnerable things with women around.
Yeah.
Maybe their sexual performance.
Yeah, something,
Right? You're like,
yeah.
I just can never keep it up. And I'm taking Viagra. What do I do? No, okay, so the men's group have their reasoning. And then, yeah, women talk about a lot of stuff. I'm sure men would be like, oh, I don't need to be here. So, yeah, I think they're both
But then, if men are seeking women, you should have a group for them where they can meet women.
It's a good idea.
That's what social events are for.
Yeah, I think my mom has great ideas.
Yeah.
I think maybe there'd be like a monthly women's and then a monthly men's, and then once a month you could have like a picnic in the park.
A mixer.
And then everyone's there, and then that's where you can find your potential mate for children.
I think.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the kids think,
I think,
but
yeah, I'm good for
you guys can have kids. I'll just be me.